you know, all of these stats.
Bruh.
Men have been doing this far longer than women.
Exactly. Hey, I was gonna say this. Wifey walked the stage pregnant. She did all her tests while pregnant. Killed it. Staying up late nights, throwing up. You know, not sleeping while pregnant. I'm looking at her like, huh,
Better you than me.
huh. Let me support you in the best way possible, so you can be comfortable in doing all of this stuff. And 9 times out of 10, you guys, the stuff that I was trying to do didn't amount to the stuff that she had to do for herself throughout that entire experience. My little bit of stuff added to it, but when she had to carry the load by herself, I couldn't. It was her. I couldn't do nothing more to that. You know what I'm saying? So when you finally walk that stage with our baby in your belly, I'm like, yo, who said you couldn't do that? Who doubted that?
2 men.
You get what I'm saying?
2 men. Real life. 2 men. Try
So
to get me to
yeah,
quit.
I think that's a
But,
perfect. I think that's a perfect example. What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
And we new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to
200K. And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it. Face to face.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Please step forward if you agree with the prompt. Feminism is a Western idea and it's alien to African culture.
I feel like the man is the head, the woman is the neck. And in our average African Nigerian homes, that is how it has always been. But then with all the technology, all the white people, the idea is that, okay, women can actually get, I mean, if the Westerners did not actually expose, or we didn't get exposed to these things, then African women's ideas would not have gone like past that box. But then it came in, so our ideas have changed and like it's growing wider. And I'm not saying that thing is, I'm not saying it's negative in any way, but like it's actually just not an African thing.
I think everyone should actually agree, even them. I think they should agree with this idea that yes, feminism did not start in Nigeria, it did not start in Africa. It was a Western thing. It was brought into Africa. So it is alien to Africa.
Which doesn't make it a bad thing.
Which doesn't necessarily make it a bad or negative thing. So that's it.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
If I feel cheated, if I feel cheated as a woman, and I feel cheated, but I am afraid to speak out because of the society and what will become of my voice. You understand? And I keep it to myself, but deep inside of me, I feel cheated and I want to fight. But sometimes when you want to fight a battle and you think you are the only one trying to fight and you are alone, other women understand your problem, facing the same problem, but too afraid to speak. So I think the idea of wanting to become a feminist has been there, but nobody, I'm coming. See, it's natural. Once I feel cheated, I want to fight. I want to break out. It has always been. It's like a natural instinct. If you cheat me, I want to fight back. But if I cannot fight back, I wait. I'm coming. Please, I'm coming.
Let him land.
The airplane's still gone. He haven't landed
If
yet.
you feel cheated, you want to fight. But if you cannot fight, there are other ways to go about it. Is that you look for people around you that believes in what you believe to give you the voice. All of you can rise up together, or you just wait for a day of reckoning to come, or something that will give you a reason to speak. So I think right from time that mindset has been there, but nobody to channel this until the Western influence came in.
It's not Western. I will tell you why it's not. Sorry, I will tell you why it's not Western. In the year 2005, when I went to see a psychologist and we were talking, and it made me to understand that for the fact that I'm a woman does not mean I don't have a voice. He's a psychologist. It's what he studied. So he knows about it. So he told me, don't think because you're a woman you don't have a voice. You have your voice.
This doesn't in any
That
way
was-
make it no
that was
Western.
not- That was in 2005.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Feminism. The idea of feminism came about in Europe as early as the 19th century. That was about 1870.
recent.
Yeah, 1870, around that time, there was a woman, a very popular woman. She's known as the mother of feminism. She wrote a book about feminism then. And as at that time,
he talk,
as at
you
that
get
time,
the time.
We will appreciate if you subscribe
Every
to
time
the
he
channel.
talk, you
We're
get the
trying to
time.
hit 50,000 subscribers in the
Okay.
first quarter of this year. Please step forward.
Okay, let's
and
talk
agree
about
with
Let's,
it.
all right.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Just studying African history and watching things with you guys and all of this, I feel like feminism has always been on the continent.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at the Angola warrior queen, right? Queen Nzinga, I believe her name was, and how she protected her people from the Portuguese. That's an example of feminism. When you think of the women warriors in Ghana, although that's a sticky topic, that's an example of feminism.
And yeah, just how you was mentioning, I would go down that road as well. Even in history, like women were in position to be in power.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if they was in position to be in power, whatever that looked like at that time and whatever the artists were at that time, they got whatever they wanted. They were represented in the most
Right.
highest status that can never be represented. Just like as a man, whenever he was in position to rule. So that's just how that goes. So.
Right. And we know Africa is so diverse. Even in one country, especially a country like Nigeria, it's so diverse. There's
Yeah.
different morals, different principles, depending on the ethnic group who you're speaking of. But again, you know, we outsiders. But judging based on history, I feel like it's always been there. It's just like the gentleman said. They just may have kept those things to themselves and didn't want to speak out on it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now, you know, just seeing so many people with technology, like the young lady said, technology,
Yeah.
they see so many people speaking out on different issues that women deal with, you know, and so now they can come together, have these partnerships and speak out. But that's we outsiders. That's just our thoughts on it.
Prompt. The goal of feminism is not just equality. There is more.
The goal?
Okay, the goal of feminism, although they've tried to hide it several times but unsuccessfully, the goal of feminism is way beyond equality. They want total dominance.
Ooh.
Dominance of the female gender over the male gender.
Really?
And that has been very obvious in their most recent activities. Take for example, there's this film, Barbie, where in Babylon, was it Babylon, where the women were the engineers, they were the doctors, they were doing everything, and the men were mainly just servants, and they were just the men were just walking around the surface of the earth, you know, like incels. They were doing nothing. They were very useless, you know.
That's a very good reference.
And that film, I think that film is still one of the most watched films
never watched that one.
of 2023. And when they asked the lead actress, she said that is the vision, that is the goal. They tell you that they want to break down the patriarchy, and when you break down the patriarchy, what do you have? You have the matriarchy. And what's the matriarchy? When women dominate the whole space and men are just at the tip of their finger, where, you know, they make all the decisions, they make all the rules. You don't just break down something without having something else to replace it. Their goal is beyond just having equality. They want total dominance, and it is obvious in their latest activities.
Your reference is really on point. That when I watched that movie,
it was a disaster.
I didn't watch
I mean,
the
it's an
movie.
interesting movie, right? But the message being put out there, and you know, women are not quite as strong as men in the mind, right? A woman is easily convinced. I think that movie reflects the real goal of feminism. However, I think feminism has some good when it comes to earning power of a woman, doing the same job with a man, exactly the same job, right? However, where the challenges come now is the idea of women and power. You know, it's always said that women don't know how to handle power properly. that any power you give to a woman, she's likely to abuse it. That's where feminism is getting it wrong. Where they could actually get it right is if a woman, if a change in her finances doesn't influence her relationship with her partner or just her significant other in the society. There are rare occasions where women are still being under the authority of their husbands, right? Because whether we like it or not, authority is the order of the day. There has to be authority in whatever you do, right? There has to be hierarchy. If you say everybody should be equal, it means you should be equal with your kids, and whatever your kid can make decision, and you say, okay, no problem, you know. So there's a hierarchy, right? Man, woman, children. So the moment you start disrupting that, you're disrupting the average household, which means it's leading to breeding of, I'll say weaker men,
Weaker men make
and
weaker
weaker men
nations.
make weaker
They
society.
make the own world weak.
I'm a bit confused if this prompt is a question or a fact, because if you ask me, it's kind of a fact. Feminism as a whole, like how they're trying to portray it as us trying to get equality, is not necessarily what this set of people actually want.
Do you
They're
think
trying
men
to-
and women are equal?
I don't think men and women are equals.
Even men and men are not
Do
equal.
you think anybody is superior to the other?
I think
She's still making a point. You
a
think,
man should be above is to be above a woman.
no, feel free. Say your mind.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So I have this feeling that feminism might have started with the idea of them trying to push or fight for equality, but we're at the point where it's shifted from that point, and now women are trying to get dominant. And I feel like men and women are not equals. A man is the head and the woman is the neck. We have our roles to play, and that's just how it is.
There's some women that actually have the goal of wanting to become treated right, and being treated right, I support. But being dominant and going extremist and all that is what I do not support.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
There was a program I went as a speaker, men's program as a speaker, and somebody mentioned something like we want to dominate and all sorts of. I want to first erase that notion. That is not it. And at that program, a man stood up. My purpose there was to tell the men what we really want. We want them to understand us. We want them to feel what is really our need. It's not as if we're competing with them and all sorts of. And there was a man that stood up. The man said, for him, his belief is woman should worship him. I was like seriously? So many men out there, they've turned it to be a boss, subordinate thing like that. And me wanting a man to know how I feel does not make me want to dominate the man. Not at all. I think this African ego of men, as in, me, I'm the head, I'm this thing, how can a woman be, we're equally human beings.
Mom, are you Christian?
Wait, you shouldn't.
I'm not even.
No, it's a question.
No,
It's a simple
I'm
question.
not
It's a
saying.
yes or no
no.
question.
I'm a Christian.
And the Bible does say, woman, be submissive to your man.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
It makes him the head and you the neck.
Yes, I'm
and
not.
the neck is also a very important part. So why do women find it really
you're
hard
talking
to
about
accept this?
dragging the heads now. So you
No,
don't
no,
believe
I'm
it.
not.
Why
No,
do
no,
women
no,
find it
no,
hard?
not
The neck
dragging
is
the
also an
head.
important part. The head is not going to stay on the shoulder.
For the woman to be heard, for you to know, I'm not a slave. I'm
Now,
supposed to be
Your
pampered.
point is valid, but see, we shouldn't make excuses for bad men, right? There are bad men in society. There are bad women in society. Now it's up to you as an individual during your courting and dating stage to understand who you're with. You see that man who wants to be worshipped. I can guarantee you that there's a woman in this world who will happily worship that man, right? And there's another woman that man can end up with. And at every opportunity, she's angry that this man is a leader. She's pissed, she's angry. So we should play our own parts and have those tough conversations during dating, courting stages. Another issue we have in this part of the world, Africa, is the fact that whenever a woman has sex with a man, to an extent, she just wants him to marry her, right? she doesn't necessarily. I mean, she would wish she's like Jesus Christ, right? But she would not necessarily look into a lot of things about his behavior. She would just feel a bit tied. Let's not confuse individuality with a general stuff. Like, for example, now, during your courting stage, during your dating stage, I'm sure you saw signs
Red flags.
of that, right? And you, wait, you could have put a check on that then and said, oh, no, look, I have not of this kind of mindset.
Some people change after marriage.
Wait.
That's exactly what I want to
wait,
say.
wait.
I'm not saying
If you're going to be honest.
I am perfect myself.
No, I'm not saying you are either.
But I am telling you, he was everything a woman can dream of.
Oh.
That's the truth.
For me, I wouldn't want to end up with a woman who will drag roles with me. Right? To be honest with you, I wouldn't necessarily want a wife to worship me. But if she does, I'll love it. Right? And in return, I should be able to, reciprocate that to her and say, okay, this woman is taking me like this. She's my all. If you insult her, I kill you. So it should be in that line of understanding.
Both parties are happy.
Yes. Not generally just when you're with someone that's not good for you. You not say men are bad.
What I believe is when there is understanding, everything becomes balanced, okay? It doesn't mean that men are better or more important. Two captains cannot lead a ship at the same time. So that makes men the head because they came first. They have the power. They have the responsibility to do more, okay? So it doesn't mean that they don't need the women. Women also need the men, okay? Men can do more, but women can also help them to do better, right? So both of them are important.
The goal of feminism is for equal rights. People, hold on, sorry.
Ooh, okay,
right,
before
all
we
right.
get into that.
So,
That was a lot.
yeah, you see, conversations like this, y'all,
Yeah.
it really just comes down to people are all basically, from what I'm hearing, they're all saying the same thing.
Yeah.
There's a balance that they're missing, though. A woman wanting to be dominant doesn't mean she's trying to overpower or have more authority than a man. She's just being mad dominant in her arena, right? Because my wife has a block, I have a block. How I operate and do things is how I know I can function at the coldest level ever that I know no one else can do better than me, and vice versa for her. She gonna kill it in her area, and I ain't gonna never question nothing about it because why would I try to intervene that? Now, when they say that for
But what area? What do you mean exactly?
And I'm glad you asked that question because when you hear people talking like this, you got to break down. Like if I'm in the kitchen cooking, that don't mean I'm trying to take your spot. That mean I love to cook too.
Mm-hmm.
If she's in let's say that she orders something from Amazon and I'm not home to help build it, and she started building it because she knows she really want her daughter to have this experience or her child to have this, her son to have this experience. That don't mean she's trying to take up my role or my space in something. Like if a sofa, that's two people who gonna lift it. I can't do it all by myself. If I have my wife with me, she's gonna get that at the end. But there's a balance there. So I feel like the level to understanding what role a person is dominated in has to do with what you're good at. It's not about who wants this and have complete control over it.
Right.
You just kick yourself out the picture at that point, you know?
Right. We both have strengths.
That's all it's about,
and
yeah.
Where we are weak at, the other person will pull each other's weight. And I know that this conversation isn't about marriage, but they did touch on marriage. And because we married, it's only right that we give our perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we said our vows, we vowed to be each other's helpmeets.
Correct.
That don't necessarily mean that we are on the same level, because at the end of the day, if I'm married to you and we're on the same level and there's nobody I could go to and be like why, as a woman, why am I with you? You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily trying to take dominance, but we're equal in that regard.
Yeah.
Men and women are different. We
There
know
you
that.
go. Mm-hmm.
We're drawn to two different things. We think differently. But to say that our minds are weaker, I don't agree with that.
And again, it's how it's put. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Weaker mindset is like saying that person just don't have the capacity to go to any level a man can never go to. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because
So no. All right, go ahead.
I want to finish. I just feel like I don't feel like women are weaker in mindset. I just feel like we all approach life differently. We're two different types of humans.
Yeah.
We're humans, but we're two different types of humans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like when you had like baseball, bro. Like you had the bat plate and you hit it. You know what I'm saying? There's so many locations in this conversation that you can go to that can you can make sense out of it, and it can just be like, this is the reason why it should always be in this type of light. And I just don't. I think at the end of the day, like I said, we're all saying the same thing, and it depends on your lifestyle and your relationship. If you're in marriage, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to conduct your marriage the way you both agree to. But if you're in society and then you're looking at the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, are we looking for women in general to say they're trying to be dominant over men? Are they trying to come in and march in and take all our spots and work? You know what I'm saying? Because I worked around women who did forklift driving with the men. I worked around women who did work with heavy equipment with the men. So it wasn't that she was trying to. She's trying to live just like everybody else. She's trying to make it in the door. And in history, they had the same position.
Right.
I don't know if you mentioned this before, but we had it to where the guys had to go off to war. And the woman had to come in and take up all the
Rosie
jobs.
the Riveter.
Yeah, the woman had to come and take up the jobs and work to make sure their family was fed and that things were still flowing throughout, the environment. You know what I'm saying? For the people.
Right. And they were taking over the jobs that the men had. And they had to build the planes and all of the equipment that the men were using in the war. They were not weak then. Yes, they had to learn the skills. They had to fill those roles, but they rose to the job.
Right. So I think the question is, you know what? No, we're gonna go right back into it.
Wait. I want to touch on the Barbie movie.
I never saw the Barbie movie.
I didn't watch the Barbie movie, but I remember being a young girl playing with Barbie dolls.
Okay.
Ken was never the main character. It was about Barbie. It was Barbie's world.
I seen
it's a girl's world. That's what it said.
I think Barbie was driving and Ken was on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I don't know the background of that, but I do know that I played with those dolls. And I know the movie is supposed to be a play on the dolls, right? And the game has to play the game and all that. But as a little girl, playing with the games, I never thought differently of a boy. I never thought differently of that role. It's me, titles. In my eyes,
it's titles.
The producers, the directors, the writers, they may have had, whatever vision that they had, but in society, as a woman, I don't want to be dominant over. I would not want to be that person, that lawmaker who's like, all men is supposed to get snipped at 18.
Whoa.
Like,
whoa. That's
like,
crazy.
seriously, I would not want. No.
That's crazy.
I just don't want men.
But you got, but hear how that sound though. Vice versa.
Right.
Not a lot of women are in position right now because how law has set up. So
here
just
in
vice
the U.S.
in the U.S. Just vice versa. How they go?
How they took away right?
You seen how I just panicked a little?
Exactly.
I was like, whoa, wait a minute, everybody, all of us. So
I don't want men to feel that they have to tell women what to do.
You shouldn't be whatever you have to tell her what to do.
No, I'm not speaking about marriage.
Oh, you talking about
but I agree with that. I'm not speaking about marriage. What I'm saying is like here in the United States, how they took away a woman's right to decide what to do with her womb.
Okay, yeah, that part.
And I'm not speaking directly on it, but just that like how are you gonna tell a woman what to do?
I'm just I can't tell you what pregnancy pains feel like. I don't know that. What my boy Bill Burr said, the pain is here. This is what you do when you get the pain here.
So,
bruh, hey, it's a lot to this. It's a lot to this, bro.
Sorry. Are we practicing it wrongly? Yes. Right. So the question is about the goal, not how it's being practiced. For example, if I ask you, what's the goal of democracy? It's for government for the people, by the people. Is it practiced right? No. Does it take away from the fact that the goal is the goal? No, the goal is still the goal, but it's being practiced wrongly. So I think the entire discussion here is about, is the goal of feminism for what's it called? Equal rights. Yes, it is. But is it practiced wrongly? Yes, it's practiced wrongly. The majority.
Look at it this way. At first, the goal for feminism was equal rights.
Not was, is.
It was.
It is.
I would say it was because at some point it was like this, but at this point it's not. We're not trying to even get equals. We're trying to push the men down here so that the women can get up here.
Wrongly. The goal is the goal. That was mostly in Nigerian context and the social media context, because everybody just wants to join the bandwagon for
That's
the
how it
people
be.
that practice false feminism. For example, someone that they respect, someone that is high up in the society says, oh, this is the way to go. There's people that actually listen to them, consume their information, and then go and practice the wrong thing in their own homes.
Please step forward if you agree with the prompt. The society is designed to favor men.
Let me
Society
take
is
Nigeria for
designed to
example. When it
favor-
comes to leadership, it has always, as in the men are always on the forefront. Over time, there are a lot of women that have actually come out to contest for the office of the presidency because they felt that our men have actually failed. But there's this hierarchy of power that will not give women that chance, because until we see what they are capable of, we will not really understand. Why don't we also give women this chance to be in power and see what they can actually do?
In Africa, we see women as the men at the head, while the women are beneath and all sort of. And if they want to finish the whole thing, they will tell you the Bible and all sorts of. After all, we were created out of the women are created out of men ribs and all sorts of. And I don't know, it still keeps baffling me why it's like that.
Regardless of some of them's qualifications, they still just look at them and, oh, you're a woman. I don't think you're cut for it. I don't think you'll be able to do it, without even taking them through the process of the process they take men through, right? Oh, do you know this? Have you done this? What did you study in school? What school did you go to? They don't want to know the fact that you're a woman. That's the only qualification they need to know, and they just put you aside. You know what? Just hold on. Let's see if there's any men in the running for it that are good enough.
In the game of sports, let's say like football, boxing, and other sports, the men always earn higher than the women, and it's always giving more leverage than that of the women. And I think there are some of these female athletes have actually come out to fight for their rights and all that, but it's really not getting that attention. And there was this black actress, Tara J. Benson here, that was fighting that she was being underpaid just because she's a female black actress, and that her other counterparts are being paid more. They always tell you, you're a woman, you're a woman. A woman belongs in the kitchen. So the men always are at the helm of affairs. And so they always do things that will always favor themselves and put women at the back bench. I think there was one popular phrase where the president even told his wife that my wife belongs to the kitchen. If you can remember one popular
Yeah,
thing.
in the other room, yeah.
That's a mindset that we're always having.
No matter how how educated you are, there is a limit, which is you don't go beyond, even how if you're married, you don't go beyond like being more successful than your husband. Even when you become successful, they'll tell you it's not good for a woman to be more successful than a man because she will be bossy.
Yeah, I will always use myself as an example. I remember my husband got married to me as a banker. And 2 years into the marriage, he was giving me an option of your marriage or your job. And I was like, and this is me that have been dreaming. I want to have my home. This is the way I want my home to be. I was like, what's this? But by the time I told my mom, I told some few people, they made me to believe that, okololori aya, as in the man is I have to. But this is looking like boss subordinates. It's not supposed to be like that. I'm born to achieve too.
My association with feminism is due to my experience. I got married to, let me say, an abusive person, and at the end of the day, I was suppressed. I lost my self-esteem. And at a point in time, it almost gotten me to a psychiatric. When I started counseling with psychiatrists, and it was the one that made me to understand that I'm a woman of myself. I have right to life. I have right to everything. And in the first place, when he asked me to leave my job, I'm supposed to stand as a person to say no, because I have right to my life.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
Okay, before they even get into the disagreements, let's talk about that.
You want to take it?
I want to dive into a experience, right?
Okay.
I remember when me and my husband first got serious, And people in my husband's hometown were like, "Oh, that's a Demouchet, girl. You don't know about the Demouchets?" And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I got Dion. If me and Dion get married, we gonna make this name great.
Yeah.
I don't care about everybody else. So anything that I did for our marriage, I did it for us.
There you
Anything he did for our marriage, he did it for us. I don't care. And on paper, people may say, "Oh, you're more successful than your husband because you have degrees versus his trade certificates that he has." And I'm like, "No, we put that together. That's us together." So
Yeah.
I've never been bossy. And I know sometimes I'm passionate about the things I have to say and knowledge, right? And people, that comes off to people as me wanting to be dominant, I guess, but no. No, I respect who my husband is and he respect who I am.
Right.
I feel like I don't know. I don't know if that's just me and your marriage, but I
Nah,
do.
we are the only people in the world that that think like this. I think everybody have their own mentality at the end of the day, but everyone has a favoring idea when it comes to something,
Right.
regardless of what it is. Do society designed to favor men? To me, I think in reality, there's a yes to that. Because if you look around, there's more sports in involvement when it comes to men. You know what I'm saying? There's a basketball league. Yes, there's women and men, but when it comes to football, you don't see women in pads like that. But now they have it. But I don't want to get on that.
There's even the song. It's a man's world.
Yeah, but Beyonce said who
that's
runs
the song,
yeah,
right?
it's a man's world. But Beyonce made a song "Who Runs the World."
Right.
See, and
They gotta come home to somebody.
they do, bro. It's just you're right though. But at the end of the day, society is designed to favor men, and that is the honest truth. It's said it in the Bible. Women are supposed to be submissive to their husband.
But I feel like people interpret
They
that
do.
passage carnally.
We talked about this a long time ago,
Right.
Because they take it to where you're supposed to be the foot. 100% the foot, but
Right.
it's not. It's equal to this stuff. You have to be balanced to this stuff. And I like how they're talking as well too, bro. They're making some great points.
They are.
Yeah. So that's what it is, though.
Society generally, we don't all have equal roles to play. In a household, when a woman is in the kitchen, right, I don't see anything wrong in that. And my reason is because the man is also playing equal and opposite role while she's in the kitchen. So she might be in the kitchen and he's on the lookout, like a security person, right? If anything goes wrong, he loses his life first. Wherever there's a goal or a mission to achieve, right, there's some kind of plan towards it. And in that plan, there's some kind of hierarchy, which is leadership, right? So if we had a plan and there's no leadership and everybody's just having different opinions, it will take us a longer time to get to where we're going to. But if we work with the leadership and a leader is directing us, we're going to move faster. So in a household per se, I don't think women should feel any kind of grudge when you're being posted to the kitchen to cook. Because while you're staying in the kitchen cooking, the man is not just, he might be watching football at the time, right? But he's also looking out for the family as some kind of protective person. So if anything goes wrong, he has to, be the front to say, okay, I'm protecting this family, I'm doing this. Whatever danger that comes, he puts himself in harm's way first. So a woman might want to argue that and say, okay, how do we measure it? Cooking is a lot of stress, while watching football is not. But we're talking about life and death here.
But I don't.
Right?
But I don't see a woman arguing about why she has to be in the kitchen. You get what I'm saying? It's like, okay, if your guy's doing whatever it is around the house, or he just probably have one of those days where he just gets to relax, and she feels that she's in the kitchen and she's doing whatever she has to do. I don't see no way possible. Unless you one of them who just don't go in the kitchen and you demand your wife to be in the kitchen or your girl to be in the kitchen. If she don't cook, then you have one of these hissy fits. That's like, and that's everyone else's different perspective of how they see out their lens. But at the end of the day, I do 100% believe a man should be in a leadership role, and he should be, having the main say-so or the agenda say-so when it comes to the family group. Like, the head of it, the captain and everything. You're like, y'all get together and y'all have those conversations. Y'all lean it onto the man at the end of the day with the pole to be like, okay, this is what we're going to do. once we all come to agreement. But it's not to a point where he just says, "This what we doing.
That's
Y'all don't
it.
rock with it. I'm
That's
breaking
it.
glass, and we gonna have a problem."
Right.
That's. I don't know what women want that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't see why she would trip about being in the kitchen.
Right.
I just don't see that being a problem.
Right. I feel like on this conversation, it would be a very distinct difference between our culture and African culture. Obviously, obviously, a woman being in the kitchen, a man taking the trash out. That's like gender roles, right?
It's too many titles to me.
It's traditional roles, and every marriage is different. But when we're hearing this, it sounds like in African culture that every marriage is the same, where it's only the woman in the kitchen. So y'all can help us with that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's in the position of where his life is potentially at risk, while the woman's in the kitchen where it's safe. When it comes to talking about society at large, not family now, I don't argue with the fact that a woman should be paid what a man is paid, right? Let's say like a medical doctor, if a woman performs a surgery on you, right, and a man performs a surgery on you, they are both attending to this client, right? The same kind of job she's doing is the same kind of job he's going to do on her. So I believe they are entitled to equal pay, right? But somebody mentioned football. I don't agree that a female footballer should be paid what a male footballer is paying, because in life, I have some kind of economic background. Whatever price you see today is as a result of demand and supply, right? People don't just come and fix the price. So if a man is earning higher today, it's because he's selling his goods to a much larger crowd of people, right? And he's entitled to that.
Yeah, sorry, good point, but I don't think you addressed the prompt. You didn't speak of the design of the society, how it favors the men, how you disagree with that.
First off, I want us to use facts and figures for arguments like this because they are very, very important, not just for us, but for the coming generation too. No one just woke up one day and said, okay, you know what? We are going to be giving men special treatment, and we are going to be giving women special treatment. We must all know that there is something called power tussle, and power tends to move towards where there's sacrifice. Either we want to agree or not, men built the world. Look at every single invention you can find today, and I can tell you for a fact that at least 97 to 98% of it were invented by men. And also, not just that men built the world, men are sustaining the world till today. They can't do all this, and you want to have equal treatment like them. It doesn't work.
But what are y'all
It's
looking
just like saying, I created this.
All right, boom. So I just want to make this point real quick. Me, I don't like to do all this back and forth like that. I like balance, right? And it's either they want to put a lid on it and say women aren't equal and they can't have all these perks of life that men work hard for on a regular basis, or you take the lid off and you say, you're my little butterfly. I want to see you thrive. I want to see you prosper in whatever way, fashion that is. Just don't. Like, here's another thing. It's about stepping on toes, right? And I don't think that a woman should ever just want to step on a man's toes and try to bulldoze over his position and try to do what he do on a regular basis when in reality she might not be the best for it. Mm-hmm. And vice versa. Now, I'm not trying to... See, but the way the world is set up today, you got that.
Right.
Men are in the shop doing hair. Right. They're not just barbers. They're doing hair. Women are in the kitchen, not even just the kitchen. Cash registers, like whatever, like all CEO positions, killing it, bro. Like, what are we looking for, and what are we saying they can't have? That's my big argument. My argument is, what are we trying to stop them from achieving? And if we are stopping them from achieving anything, what is the lid supposed to do to them?
Right. Historically, it may have been designed for men, but I feel like women are good too.
Yeah.
In a lot of areas. A lot.
I like balance. I don't know what...
It will not happen. It will not happen. Even when a woman creates her own company, she will not agree that she should get the same treatment as what an ordinary staff that just came into the company is getting. They take on the most responsibility. Whoever takes on the most responsibility is definitely going to get the better treatment. That is how it is meant to be.
So let me bring it down to a man's thing now. Okay. 97% of this thing you said were invented by the Europeans and the whites, have they?
By men.
And I'm coming. I want to understand something. Then the African men are not inventing. I'm coming. They're not inventing anything. Would you be happy if we say, okay, because the European men were inventing this thing, let them look down, let them take themselves as a higher God over the black men, how would you feel?
I
Because
totally
would you
accept.
you accept?
I totally accept. It's
Wait,
reality.
you accept to look inferior before the white man. Is that what you
I
believe?
don't have to accept to look inferior. You are inferior to them if they are making the
Do
things
you
that you're
want-
using. Exactly. Wait. Let me tell you something.
Okay,
Nigeria
Hold on, I wanna hear.
Nigeria as a country, we are importing more than 60% of what we eat.
I know.
Do you agree with me?
I understand.
Did I say 60%? More than 80% of what we consume in Nigeria, we are eating that. Do you understand? Do we have the same economic value as America?
I know we do.
We do not. Do we have the same economic value as Europe?
It
can never. It will not happen.
But
That is exactly.
Would you like to be true? Okay,
That is the way of the world.
Okay, so he basically just said, what goes on in Africa is not America. So, in that sense, because with the white infrastructure and, stuff like that. But you wanted to...
Well, a lot of the patents, like if you really look at the history here, the white men applied for those patents, but a lot of them were not their inventions.
Yeah.
And there
Sorry
are
for
a lot
this.
of women inventions that we use today.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know about 97%. I don't know.
Good.
You are only saying this because I know you're not being truthful, but generally, even the blacks in USA do not like being treated lesser. Nobody likes to be treated lesser because they say do unto others and what others to do unto you. I know men have this leverage over the women because they feel that okay, we invented the world, we did this, we did that, we did that. But let's look at the bigger picture. You as a man, how would you feel if another man also sees you the same way?
Humanity, we're not equal. There's hierarchy. Even men are not equal. Talk less of men and women. There's always hierarchy. There's always someone bigger than you, better than you. Nature itself is not equal. So even in the animal kingdom, you won't find equal. But everyone has their own ascribed rules.
That's what,
Exactly.
and you made very good points, and you just explained our points. You explained how the society has been designed to favor men. That's what you did.
Say something.
Which you made very good points.
Please step forward if you agree with the prompt. What a man can do, a woman can do better.
Oh, Lord, these questions,
For a
bro.
woman who believes in herself so very much,
That's a song.
I can do so many things.
Pause. Let us go ahead and just answer that. What a man could do, a woman can do better. And that is a song, huh?
That is-
Anything you can do, I can do
I
better.
can do better. I can do anything better than you.
I think if you want to really get into the involvement of who can do what better, it's all about their mental capacity.
The
I
person.
could take out whether it's a man or a woman, put two people in the arena to do the same thing, and depending upon how hard they want to get to this position would determine how great this individual is. As a whole, I can never say just a group. The world of women will always be better than the men, and the world of men will always be better than women. That's not it. But put two people on the track. Let's just use a track meet for instance. If this man works lesser than the woman, or vice versa, someone is going to win. And that's all about mental capacity. So when it comes to being better or doing better, it's all about how hard this person worked for that position.
Right. I don't. This prompt, what a man could do, a woman could do better. Why are we putting men and women against each other like that? I don't understand.
That's not balance.
I don't know, y'all.
It's not balanced. That's why I use track as the reference. And that's why I use mental capacity as the reference. Right? Somebody may have more tolerance to do something for a longer period of time than the other. And whenever that is in play, you'll see one person not being better, but just being more disciplined.
Right. And coming just from my perspective, I'm trying to imagine, let's say women did rule the world. Like all the governmental positions. I see a reality TV show, honestly. That's why it has to have balance. It has to have balance.
That's hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Keisha and Susie and Willie Mae, they're going to be fussing over we have to have balance of men and women.
Yeah. That's what it's about.
And so also I believe in so many women out there, if being given opportunity, they can do much, much better than the men out there. I remember a time a snake came into the house and the men were drawing back. And before you know it, it was a woman that went to kill the snake. So if I believe in myself as a woman,
I can do far better than so many men out there. I am 28, but I do the work of a man and a woman, which is I have a son which only me takes care of. He has a father, but he doesn't do anything. Being a man is not just like I'm a man, I can impregnate a woman. But from my own experience, I'm talking from my own experience, I have a son. Even had him when I was in the university, in my finals in school. I paid my final because my parents did not want to support me anymore. So it's not being a man, it's not just the name man. It's the responsibility that makes you a man.
Women are supposed to be loved and cherished. Some of these women who are coming out to play as feminists, they're coming from what they've experienced and what they've seen others go through. So I think society needs to put more attention on these women and try to see if they can sort out things with them.
I was a bit skeptical before because I had to think about the statement very well. And what a man can do, can there means there's a potential to do. It doesn't necessarily mean that a woman will do better than a man, but there's a potential to do better than a man if given the same opportunity, the same chances. Do you get it? So it's not, I don't see that statement as a competition. A lot of women see that way, that, oh, I can do better than a man, da, 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 da. But you have the potential to do better than a man, right? It doesn't mean that you get into the same position as a man and you will do better. There's no guarantee that you will do better, but there's a potential that you will do better. There's a chance you will do better.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
I think this comparison should stop. The reason is because we are all unique in our own abilities, right? I don't think there's a man can do better, a woman can do better. I think there are things men can do better at. When you talked about something physical, killing a snake, I was just shaking my head because I was like, when we are talking about these things, we need to use a data that reflects everyone, not just personal experience. We all know that the majority of things that when the snakes come, is the man that is expected to attend to that, you know?
Initially, I was going to say, okay, there are stuff that a woman can do better than men. There are some, but I think at this point, you need to make it very clear. With facts and figures, we need to make it very clear. The strongest human being in the world is a man. The fastest swimmer in the world is a man. The strongest...
physical...
I'm still going physical now. I'm still going physical now. The strongest fighter in the world is a man. The richest human in the world is a man. Please mention it. Any aspect that you can point at, I will tell you that the best in that field is a man. So how do we want to beat that?
I don't think it's about trying to beat that. It's about did they, like, you're looking at history here now. Did they get that chance to try to be that?
Right. If
That's
given the
about.
opportunity.
That's what it's all about. If given the opportunity. Come on, man.
In a lot of these roles and you know, all of these stats,
bruh,
men have been doing this far longer than women.
Exactly. Hey, I was going to say this. Wifey walked the stage pregnant. She did all her tests while pregnant. Killed it. Staying up late nights, throwing up, you know, not sleeping while pregnant. I'm looking at her like, huh.
Better you than me.
Let me support you in the best way possible so you can be comfortable in doing all of this stuff. And 9 times out of 10, you guys, the stuff that I was trying to do didn't amount to the stuff that she had to do for herself throughout that entire experience. My little bit of stuff added to it, but when she had to carry the load by herself, I couldn't. It was her. I couldn't do nothing more to that. You know what I'm saying? So when you finally walk that stage with our baby in your belly, I'm like, yo, who says you couldn't do that? Who doubted that?
2 men.
You get what I'm saying?
2 men, real life. 2 men tried to give me the quick.
I think that's a perfect. I think that's a perfect example.
Yeah, but there's been plenty of instances in our life where I'm like, whew, thank the Lord I got a man for that.
That's the balance.
Because baby, that struggle that we was facing, I couldn't do it alone.
Trust me.
I couldn't do it alone. Well,
and
there's been things I couldn't do.
Hey, and I did it with a smile. Bro, hey, I killed it. Right. It's crazy. So at the end of the day, I think, like you said, this debate has to stop. And it's about balance, bro. You know, you have your strength. You know, she or he has his strength. Let that be that and complement it with the best ability that you have to add, because we are all puzzle pieces. Right. And if you don't want to add to the puzzle, then there's always going to be a black spot there that you're going to doubt because you don't know why it's there. But you didn't go over there to see if you can add value to it or not. You just doubted it. That's all I got to say. Yeah.
They are
create
getting pregnant
spermatozoa.
nowadays.
No. So what I'm
Nowadays, they are getting
saying,
pregnant nowadays. All I'm saying is, see, all I'm saying is,
When it
all I'm-
comes to
wait,
nurturing,
but see, let
a
me
man
finish.
can nurture a child.
you don't
No,
know
that's
that.
not true.
They are
That's
single
not
fathers.
true.
You
So
don't
they
know that.
exist.
He said
That is
it's
not
not
That
true.
is not the major.
I can't breastfeed.
See, all I'm saying
I said
is,
we can't keep dwelling on the minority
all I'm saying
percentage. We
is,
can't keep doing that.
see, this is a question of can they not? And I'm telling you for a fact that there is nothing that women can do that men cannot do better than them in that field.
No, I disagree with you.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. I'm just telling you that. Mention that field. Okay, you mentioned can men nurture like women. Besides that, do you have any other field that you can tell me that a
Let's
woman
not
is
aside
better
it.
at?
Let's answer it first. Let's not aside it. Let's answer it first. Can men do that
Yes,
better
men
than
can.
women?
Men can.
Can they do it? I'm not saying they can't attempt it. I'm saying, can they do it better than women?
Of course not.
Obviously,
Of course not.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I agree with you in that aspect because why? For every one man that nurtures a kid, there are probably like 8 or 9 other women that have done
Or
that.
100.
Aside that, do you have any other field that you can tell me that women are better than men at? Recently, they are doing this particular stuff where men are changing their genitalias
sex.
what do they call it? Transgender, and men are going into women's sports, and they are beating up these women in every aspect.
There's this saying that
A man that's probably top, that's not top 100 in the men's sport, with transgender into a woman, go into women's sports, and win all the awards within the US national team, their women national team, they played a friendly game with US under 15 boys. They walloped them, I think it was 21-1 or something, under 15 boys to senior women in their late
That's why I made the point earlier. The argument will come and they'll bring just label, sports.
Please, I have
They're
this
channeling it towards
question.
just sport.
I have this question. Why is this saying that you train a woman, you train a nation?
That's just what I wanted to say now.
Why is that belief?
When you said put the nurture aside, I told you no, you can't put it aside because it plays a major role in shaping the society for
It's
life.
a general thing.
I know it's a general
so it's a
thing,
big,
personally, I don't.
it's a big
That's
task.
you, but it's a
big task.
general belief.
It's a big task. There's sometimes when you might do just one task and someone do 10, but because of that, your one is like really big.
The woman is a nurse, she's a secretary, she's
you could match up with
everything.
that person.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, don't try this.
All right.
Woo!
All right, yeah, we're gonna stop it right there. Yeah, bro, you just gotta. It's like the food chain, bro. It's like you gotta respect the cycle of life. Woman give birth to baby. Baby grows up being nurtured off of the mother. Baby grows up being trained by the father and mother. Baby grows up, depending on what gender that child is, starts to implement the characteristics of the parent. So forth, then it happens, and then life takes them, and then life creates more, abilities from losses and wins, and then it's a cycle. You just gotta respect that. It's not one. It's not about who's better, who's not. It's about being brought into this world and thriving and adding value to it. At the end of the day, so
See, that's why I don't put labels on myself.
there you go.
When people say, "Oh, y'all are this and y'all are this," and no, I'm Sierra. That's it. Don't put no label on me because I have grown to understand that people's perception of a subject is totally different from
100%.
mine. Because I'm a traditional type of person, so what I take feminism to mean is the original meaning.
Yeah.
Advocating for equality in women's rights, not trying to take over men's role in society, just wanting to have equality with men. Equal pay. If we are doing the same job, have the same background, same education level, same training,
Yeah.
yes, I should get paid the same. Yes. Yes, I should have the right to vote. Yes, I should have the right to make decisions for myself, just like any other human.
Yeah.
Just wanting to be treated as a human.
That's it.
That's it. Oh, this was a hard debate for me to sit through.
Yeah. Me too.
Because a lot of their viewpoints were alien to me.
Yeah. Water don't float in there, bro. You gotta put it in the cup. Can't have the cup without the water. Can't have the water without the cup. I like this one as well. As much water we have on the body of on Earth, you know what I'm saying? The clouds has a big responsibility. You can't say the clouds are better than the water. Why? Because when the water is going up into the clouds get heavy and it brings it back down.
We all add something.
It's a cycle. You got to respect the
life.
cycle. If you start
Yeah.
to strip the cycle, then you have a handicapped structure. The foundation will never stand.
Exactly.
It's going to always fall. That's how it, yeah.
But I like it because it challenged my thoughts.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.